but not let him haul for 45
exactly
minutes.
the way the Chippewa Sand Transport does it. They hired all local drivers, and part of that is that they're the neighbors and they know the people, so they know who has kids, you know, who the old people are.
Whose trucks are they going to be? Are they going to be the, you know, like Snapper, if he owns his own truck, are you going to hire a Snapper and he owns this truck, or is it going to come from?
The way Chippewa Sand Transport did it, they purchased all the trucks. I don't know for sure if Glacier's going to do it that way or if they're going to let people use their own trucks. The nice thing about the way Glacier Sand, Chippewa Sand Transport did it is you can identify their trucks easily because they're all the same color. They only have all the signage on them.
I'm sure Snapper's truck just doesn't have all the
I'm going to take a couple more
electronics.
questions, and then we're going to cut this off. So,
all right, how many jobs, how many employees would a facility of the size that you're proposing, how many employees would it take to run that facility total?
Well, that's why we had up there 30.
30? So you're saying that you're going to hire 100% 30 employees from local area? That doesn't make sense, business sense to me, because you would have to have people training. So then, okay, if you're not saying that, then how many of those people, of those 30 people, would have to be educated about fracs, how to even run a rail plant, to be in that facility before you could even bring in local people? Because all those local people are going to have to be trained. So if you're saying that you're only going to hire people who know about frac sand mining, that's going to be 0 people. There's not a single person in this area that knows about it.
The laborers don't need to know about the frac sand mining. And there are laborers that work in these plants.
How much do you pay the laborers, roughly?
Do you recall what that was?
Well, I can tell you what was based on information that came out of Workforce Connections that did some information. We bring it with us, but I'll get that for you. And the average wage for the folks that were in and this was for, I don't know, about 10 counties. Buffalo County was one of them, but the average wage, that's the average, was $18 an hour. And
so that's the average. What are you going to pay?
There were,
well, I think it's really important that if you're really putting out this, that there's going to be jobs, that you need to really be prepared to talk about jobs. Because really, for now, it's just very vague. So, you know, you're talking about, you're really trying to bring people in and telling them there's going to be jobs, but it's really like, oh, you know, there might be 10 people, there might be 30 people getting a job. Oh, it might be $18 an hour, it might be less. That's really vague. So that's my one thing. And then if you're going to hire a company like Chippewa Sand to run these trucks, there is no company that I know of, unless you can identify one in this area, that could manage that many trucks. So that's a brand new company being formed. And where is that trucking company going to be located? Where are they going to have a building? That's a huge company just starting from scratch in this area. So it would make more sense to hire a company outside of the area that already has this going, and then our local drivers would have to actually drive out of town to get their truck. So it wouldn't make sense for local drivers. So I'm just wondering.
Even if you hire somebody that was out of town, they'd still have to build a building here for the maintenance and the control.
Where would that building be built? Where?
Until we hire somebody, we don't know where they're going to build.
okay, one more question.
Yeah, I got a question about, you know, just the size of the operation that you guys are talking about putting in here. Throughout your presentation, okay, you guys kind of have tried to downplay your own numbers. I mean, you know, you put in your conditional use permit that you're going to run 500 trucks a day, but you kind of explain that away and say it's not going to be that many. There's a picture of a dry plant that you put up on the board, and I don't think a single building was taller than the tree line in that picture that you put up. Yet in your conditional use permit, you know, you're talking about 90 to 100 foot structures. Okay, I didn't see any pictures of what that looks like. So I guess my question to you is one, why do you keep minimizing and downplaying your own numbers?
We ask for a maximum height in the conditional use permit. As we get further and further into design, we're going to refine it more and more. Right now, the plan is to try and keep it a lot lower than that, more like about the 60 to 70 foot range.
So is that something then, as the application process evolves, is that what you'll put in your permit? I mean, you're talking down the numbers. I mean, when you say 50 or 60 foot, are you gonna put that
We'll have
into
to
your
submit-
permit?
When we're ready to build the plant, we'll have to submit a plan to the county for the building permit.
Yeah.
And so that's what will actually be permitted in the building permit.
So one other follow-up question then is you mentioned, this current facility is at 1.2 million tons per year, right? And in 5 years, you want to double that to 2.4. I mean, what does that look like? I mean, does that mean there's going to be 1,000 trucks a day and 2,000 round trip?
500
or
trucks,
is that-
500 trucks would be able to feed that plant.
And what about buildings and structures and things like that? How?
In 10 years.
The footprint would get larger, but not height. It would just mean adding another dryer.
Well, I have questions, and I want it answered. I pay taxes, I can answer the question. Now, your numbers are changing. Wednesday it was 100 jobs, today it's 30.
That's because
Yeah.
Wednesday we were talking about all the mines as well. We weren't
What's
talking
that?
just Milton.
What's that?
Wednesday we were talking about all the mines as well. So
Okay.
three mines as well increased that number up to 100 plus.
Sands.
Numbers change fast with you guys.
That's for right now. Right
All
now.
right, we're gonna move on. Anybody that wants to stay for the rest of the meeting is fine. If they want to leave, that's fine. 2 items on the list moving forward is we're looking for members for
Stay here.
a comprehensive plan committee, which will address the use of property in the town of Buckle, or town of Milton. So everybody that really wants to voice their opinion on what we should and shouldn't do in the town of Milton, that's a perfect place for you. So we'll take names, and the first meeting is gonna be somewhere the week of June 11th. Another one is we're still looking for people that want to serve on the non-metallic mining ad hoc committee. Had 4 from the last meeting, plus you heard the gentleman from the school, and somebody from the school board is also going to be on there. So we'll take names for that. Next item is to approve an operator's license for William Borchard. You guys reviewed that information? I think we all reviewed that. Any desires on that? All right.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah, hold on.
I make a motion we deny the application due to inaccurate information given to us.
He didn't disclose some information, correct? Correct. Okay.
What was the application for?
Operator's license. And part of the application is that they have to disclose their background, and he didn't.
Is there a second?
Yeah.
Second, so, motion to deny has been carried. And again, looking for anybody that wants to serve on the comprehensive plan committee. The town of Milton already has a land use plan, and basically this is the next level of that. We take the land use plan and it becomes a comprehensive plan, and this is where we have some input on what is done and what is not done in the town.
How do we sign up for that?
Just give us a... And again, the non-metallic ad hoc committee had got 4 from last time. If you know of anybody else that wants to come on board, that's great. We don't have a meeting set for that yet. Probably after this meeting, we'll put that list together and get something started. Okay, next
We need more
item
people than one person on the committee.
on the
There's one.
comprehensive
I
plan.
have Ben down for the comprehensive plan.
Erica Dillman said she would do it too.
Okay. Do you have me down for that, Sharon Komorowski?
Well, we have you down for the frac sand, but not the comprehensive.
But now that one too. I was going, oh yay.
Well,
I like when
they're
they-
they're somewhat tied together at this point,
Yeah, they are.
you know? This is where you want to be heard.
Anybody else?
Oh, my husband will kill me.
Just do it.
Both, or?
I talked to the Carl Dooley, which they talked about. He's actually spearheads this through the UWA extension up there. And he feels that we're in pretty good shape, you know, with the land use plan. And figures that probably in a couple of good meetings that we should be able to knock this out.
When are these
So-
meetings gonna be held, though, during the day or at night?
No, they'll be in the evening.
Good, I'll do it, Becky Holzer.
Comprehensive land plan, or both?
Both, why not?
The comp plan, he figures a couple of good nights, we should be able to knock that out. Depends on how in depth we want to get.
Is he gonna get involved with it, or?
Yeah, they'll actually kick it off for us and help us through that. He helped us through the land use plan, so.
Well, do you need my email or anything?
I have.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
You can't
Okay.
back up.
I'm gonna go before I sign up for anything else.
If you know of anybody else, actually bring them to the first meeting, so. And I'll let you know when that's gonna be. It probably will be the week of June 11th. I haven't nailed the date yet, so.
Do we have contact information for the people who signed up last?
I got phone numbers.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, next thing was the road sign replacement plan. For you that don't know, by the year 2018,
You got time.
I believe it. Yeah, but it's
That's not sale now.
basically all the road signs have to be changed to a new material on the face. And actually, it starts this year, we have to have a plan together, and then by 15, we have to have so many, like the regulatory signs changed, like the speed limits and stops and all that, and it just progresses. And so they all have to be done by 2018, I believe. So, what we want to do to get things kicked off is at least get like stop signs taken care of here soon, because there's somebody that's got a sale on them, so.
Stop signs, yeah.
So we'll need to get around and count the number of signs, right? Fire sale. Fire sale. So, we'll have to count on that.
I'd love to see a little bit.